Good morning to everybody jumping on. So I'm a little earlier this morning. Somebody said on my 15-minute break at work. Just wanted to pop in before it's over. Good morning to you. I look like I caught you right. I started a little earlier this morning. I got to jump off a little early. But yeah, I wanted to go ahead and get this thing jumping early this morning. So thank y'all for tuning in. Be sure to let me know where you are watching from. What side of the world you're watching from. So yeah, be sure to do that. Give me just a second. Mississippi. Yes, sir, Mississippi. I see you. What part of Mississippi, Brandon? It's my old neck of the woods. What's up, Charles? Philly. School drop off here. We're gonna make it a little funky for you while you drop the kids off. Close to that area last year. I actually did a clinic down there just last year. So you know Martell. Yeah, you know my guy Martell Patrick. Martell is an amazing bass player. If you guys don't know Martell Paget, look him up. Martell Paget, P-A-D-G-E-T-T. Phenomenal bass player. You need to be following him. I don't think he posts as much on YouTube, but he definitely posts on like Facebook. So be sure to follow him. Amazing bass player. Yep. That's one of those grooves you just want to stay right there. Like, don't go nowhere, just stay right there. Get it together. Still early. Y'all must be driving this morning. Y'all ain't typing that much. Appreciate it, man. Nah, it's not a Federa. It's actually a Warrior base. That's a Warrior base. Appreciate it, Charles. What's up, Roberto? Lazarus, what's up, man? Morning to you, Carl. What's up? It's the super food-based rule. He said scramble. Scramble is my daughter's song of choice for the morning drives. Oh man, that's sweet. Dope. Mobile, Alabama. What's up, Melvin? I got you. Y'all be safe out there, man. I know this weather is kind of crazy for y'all out down on that end, man. Please be safe. I appreciate it. Good evening from down under Australia. What's up? What's up, Nat? So what are some base exercises that will help you improve but are great to play along? Hold on, let me kill that so I can understand what you're asking me. Okay, let me read this again. What are some base exercises that help you improve but are great to play along to a groove so they don't just feel like practice? Pentatonic stuff, playing around. Most of the stuff that you guys hear me playing, I'm doing relative major minor stuff. I've been talking a lot about that heavily with my students, dealing with the relative major minor stuff and using it in the form of pentatonic. So this groove, for instance, is in my bass is tuned different. Normally I would be on like the one that's tuned standard, but this bass is tuned a little different. So I hope it doesn't confuse you guys. But normally, just say if we're grooving in G minor, we know G minor is normally right here, but for the sake of how my bass is tuned, it's here. So ignore what you're seeing. So all right. But if we're grooving in G minor, and it kind of got like a dominant sound, like slightly dominant thing up under it. So good morning to you. All right. So grooving in that key of G minor, I know I have the G minor scale available to me, and I also know I have the G minor pentatonic scale available to me. But what differs it, if I know it's dominant as well, I can also include the major pentatonic as well. All right. So now, not only do I, that's a G major pentatonic, or I can use the G minor pentatonic. So what I can do, I can go up on a G major and go up on a G major and come back down on a G minor. So now I got a different way of practicing just simply by taking the major and the minor pentatonic scale and incorporating it. Now, if I want to get a little bit more advanced than that. Now I can start moving around to playing that G minor pentatonic over this G minor groove, G minor pentatonic, and then I can shift it up a minor third to that relative major, which will be, and then back down to G minor. My bass is probably throwing y'all completely off. So the way, good morning, y'all. Morning, Tiffany. Floppy, what's up, man? So yeah, so my bass is for you guys that are new and just seeing this bass or seeing how I have it tuned for the first time, it could be very, very confusing. So I apologize for that. I generally don't teach on this particular bass. Either way, here we are. So again, so we have G major, G minor pentatonic. And so if we go up a minor third, G, and go up to the A flat and go chromatic up all the way, we're gonna land on that B flat. So if we go up a minor third from G, we'll go back to B flat major. So again, if we're in G minor, go up a minor third, and we're in B flat major. So now I can pull from G minor and B flat major over that groove. How does that work? Because G in the key of B flat is the 6. So I can kind of play off of those different ideas. I'll play it better than I'm saying it. So hopefully it'll make more sense to you guys. So we'll take this exact same groove. The groove is in G minor. Alright? So now I can have my pick. I can only play in G minor if I want to do that, or I can go to B flat major. And this is like an elementary approach because you can go way farther left out than just that. But just for the sake of giving you something else to practice on, those are two ways you can kind of do it. So we'll just take G minor pentatonic. And notice another thing that I'm doing to kind of keep your practice from being boring. Instead of doing it like taking it and flipping the rhythms of it. So now the timing is a little different and it feels a little different in the groove. So I'm taking the same pattern and I'm just flipping the rhythm of how I'm playing it, and it's feeling a lot different just by me flipping the rhythm of it. But those same group of notes. And now, so if I start adding little stuff like, and that's all I'm dealing with for right now. I'm just showing you different ways you can kind of incorporate the rhythm in there. And so if we want to break out of that box, we just can keep going up as far as the octaves. So now I add that extra thing and just see how many more ideas, I can't talk this morning, how many more ideas it'll give me once I started kind of breaking out. So this will be kind of equivalent, the way this bass is strung up will be kind of equivalent to like a 6-string bass without the low B string. So that's for some of you guys are trying to figure out, I'm like, how's that dude going up that many octaves? So it's like a 6-string bass. I have a high C string on here, but I'm just detuned to B flat, or to E flat, because I don't have a low B. It's a little different, but it's fun to play when you're doing the improvisation stuff. So if you guys are trying to figure out how am I subdividing that timing, I'm counting 6 over that 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's another way you can approach to get a different kind of feel. That's how I'm getting like, how's he subdividing? How's he counting that? I'm just simply counting 6 over 4. So again, here it is in context. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1. I still start on the downbeat of the 1, but I'm counting 6 instead of 4. Whereas the regular groove is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm subdividing that and counting like 6, 8 over 4, or 6, however you want to count it. 3, 4. The regular count. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you're accenting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. You see what I'm saying? So you go back and forth in between the two timings. And so like I'll double up on that 6 and I'll just kind of mix the 4 and the 6 together. And so that's how you can kind of get those triplets and all that stuff happening in there. So now a lot of what I'm adding is accidentals. I am going in and out of some different chords, but I'm adding basically accidentals. For people who don't know that terminology, it's basically notes that don't normally show up in the chord. That's the simple approach for it. But yeah. That's the pattern. Could be a scale. Using all of those notes. But now once I add it in the context of the groove, just gave me more notes to pull from. And so what I do, I don't take that and just keep playing the same thing over and over again. I'll take it and mix it with the minor pentatonic. So now I can do stuff like, so that's what I'm doing. So it's all about how you put it together, how you want to express with it. So getting out of that and all of that information that you just heard me put in the context, if I take that and mix that major pentatonic from B flat with that, now I definitely got a whole bunch of stuff going on, or at least it sounds like it. I'm actually playing simple stuff, but when I'm mixing it all together, it sounds like I'm playing a whole bunch of information, but it's just simple stuff. So that's that B flat major pentatonic. And one of the things you can notice about that, what's going on? Awala? I ain't gonna even butcher that, so I just looked at it fast, so forgive me. Good morning to you, or good afternoon, wherever you are. Good morning to you. So if I mix that major pentatonic, you'll notice that shape those shapes, if you go through the 5 shapes of the major pentatonic, you're going to run into the minor pentatonic stuff just by default. So if I go just with the B flat minor, just going through the shapes backwards, it'll land me right there on that 6. So I'm right where I need to be. So if I keep going up, so all of this stuff is interconnected, but once we start putting it together, you can come up with some really, really cool lines. And so there you see, I didn't just start on the just in the G minor position. I can start. So I'm not stuck in one position to start. I can start all over this fretboard. The more I know where these notes and where these sounds are, the more I can kind of navigate around and have better ideas to just come up with stuff. All right. Please shout out to me. Thabo, is that how I say that? Good morning to you. All right. So you see what I'm doing? I'm just taking a whole bunch of simple concepts and just putting them all together. It's not about knowing a whole bunch of stuff. It's about taking simple concepts and playing with them and trial and error and see what you like, see what you don't like. And you might accidentally every now and again run up on something. But I think sometimes we can go too fast trying to get to something super complicated when a lot of ideas are right there in the simplicity of everything. So I wanted to talk about this topic. I can't be on here super long today. I do have something else I got to do, but I still want to go live. So I kept my word. I was going to go live today. So but one of the things I want to talk about is dealing with this idea of the perfectionist. If any of you guys are like me, that's something that was on my mind this morning. I almost decided to just put up a post about it on my social media pages and just let that be that. Just kind of talking about the idea of the perfectionist. But I said, no, this would be something good. The Chiefs fan. Good morning to you. Yeah, you gotta say Washington now. It's cool. But one of the things I wanted to just get on here and talk about that this morning because I know, especially musicians or anybody who's a creator, we kind of run into that. What's up, Vic? We run into this perfectionist nature where it has to be perfect before we let anybody see it or hear it or feel it, touch it, whatever the case may be. We have this thing, it has to be perfect. And I've found myself in that position several times, but I think, and even as I share in my book, for some of you guys that don't know, you haven't seen the latest video and you don't follow me on social media, I have released my book. Finally, it's released. It's available on Amazon. 10 Ways to Success, The Working Musician. Search that on Amazon, Jermaine Morgan. So yeah, you can find that there. If you forget all of the title and all that kind of stuff, just simply go to the books on Amazon and search my name and the music book that comes up. There's a lot of books on Amazon under Jermaine Morgan. I did not write all those books. I don't know who that guy is, but yeah, mine has a white cover. 10 Ways to Success. So anyway, one of the things I talk about in that book is being resourceful and not being afraid to try your ideas, kind of, going with some of the stuff that you have. And I think that perfectionist nature causes us to second guess oftentimes what our own creative nature is. That I want it to be perfect, and it's really what you're really dealing with. We are our own worst critics, but the problem we have with being our own worst critics, we're trying to emulate what we think other people are going to say. Truth be told, when we are our own worst critics, it's almost like we're trying to go ahead and criticize ourselves before anybody else has the opportunity to. And what that causes us to do is to shrink back and to never finish anything because, it's almost like I got case in point. I have a song right now. It's a vocal. It's not necessarily a solo song. It's a vocal song, gospel song that I'm about to release. And for you guys that didn't know, I sang surprise, surprise. I already have a project out. If you want to hear some of my vocal stuff, called "I'm Not Afraid." It's on iTunes and everywhere else. If you're just not following me, there's a lot you don't know about me. But yeah, so and with that, the new song that I'm trying to release, I've been finding myself kind of going back. And who is that? Yes, ordered mine. Can't wait to suck it up. Oh, absolutely. Oh yeah, it's definitely on it's definitely on Spotify. Who else did I miss? Hopefully I didn't miss anybody. Okay, I think I got everybody. Yeah, it's definitely on Spotify. The song or the record, the vocal record, all of my music is on Apple, Spotify, all of that stuff. You should be able to find everything. Morning, Anthony, man, you up early. So yeah. All right, thanks. I will look out for it. Please do check that stuff out. So with this vocal record, I find myself a lot going back and critiquing certain parts of the song. And I think that one of the biggest reasons I am is because with this particular song, I'm doing literally everything. I'm playing drums, I'm playing keys, guitar, bass, I'm singing. My wife is the only other person on this song. She's singing with me, background that is. But other than that, I'm literally doing everything. And it's somewhat different from me. I've done records where I have produced everything, but I always kind of like to call in somebody else and call in a drummer or call in a keyboard player. Just the producer nature in me, I like to bring in other people and involve them in the record. It's very rare that I'm doing something and it's all me, unless it's the little backing tracks that I put up on YouTube. And for me, I consider that just playing around. So I don't consider that like a really, really full production like I would normally do. And so it causes me to have that perfectionist nature when it's something that I'm actually releasing and I'm calling this a work of mine. It's like, okay, I got to make sure that this, you got to make sure all your I's are dotted and your T's are crossed. So if you're not careful, it will put you in a position where you won't release. I have several friends who are amazing, amazing musicians, and they can create some amazing stuff, but they won't release anything. And the biggest excuse is, especially some of these guys being professionals, it's that intimidation factor of, because I have this great name and I've played on so many records, or I've played and traveled with this person or with that person, if I put anything out that's not up to quote unquote standard, people are going to talk about me. So they'll just settle with not putting anything out to avoid what people might say. Because the reality of it, people might just be blown away by what you do. But we have this perception in our mind that people are going to think less of us if they don't see this polished or whatever version of us that exists in our mind. And the reality of it is, a good friend of mine I was talking to yesterday, he was saying something about the fact that, oftentimes musicians make music for musicians, and that's super true. We make musicians music because we're so perfectionists in our so much of perfectionists in our minds that we want everything to be just perfect before we release anything to the world. So the average consumer doesn't hear all that stuff that we're hearing. Like half of the stuff that I went back and corrected on my song, the average person wouldn't have heard it anyway. I have to point it out to my wife for her to actually notice what it is I'm talking about. And but still, it's like the stuff is there and the ideas is there, the creativity is there, but so many times we second guess it. Let me pause real quick and read a couple of these comments. Um, Gerald says, great topic, Jermaine. I am probably that guy who is his own worst critic. I always seem to pick out the mistakes and things I want to do better. Absolutely. We all do. Israel says, hi, Morgan. My pleasure to stay here watching you and enjoying your song. I'm Brazilian, man, and I study with your video. Thank you for your classes. God bless you, man. Thank you. That means a lot because I know in Brazil, y'all have some um, amazing bases. From wherever you are in the world and you're watching me, thank you. If you're taking anything away from something I do, say, or even play, I really, really appreciate you. I don't take it lightly because I know you could be doing something else with your time. So thank you. Um, let's see here. Vic says, the paralysis of analysis. Absolutely, I like that. Hello, teacher. Do you know Sandberg bass? If you know, Is it good for gospel songs? I've never played it. I can't give you an opinion. I've been pretty loyal for the most part to playing the Warrior basses and a couple of others, but yeah, I don't know. Not saying I won't try out other basses, but this is pretty much not the only bass I've been playing, but y'all know this pretty been consistent, for me. All right. Sorry, so that's completely the train of thought I needed some insight in to finish composing my very first bass song. Thank you, Jermaine. Absolutely, man. Any of you guys, here's my plea to you this morning. Do not let the grave have any of your ideas. This is not an original thought of mine. Many of you guys know I have quoted Miles Monroe many of times. Dr. Miles Monroe, that's one of his quotes. As far as don't let the grave have anything. Don't let the grave have nothing. I mean, if there's something in your mind, I don't care how bad you think it is, it's better out than in. That's a Shrek quote. but the idea is better out of your mind than stuck in your head and you dying with that idea. Even if it's terrible, at least you got it out. Because here's the thing, and I share some of this in the book. Many of you guys don't know, and you won't find it. I'm very happy to say that I released my first project in like 2005. It was a vocal record, vocal and instrumental. And yeah, I was kind of tapping into the power of resourcefulness when I created that record. And it wasn't perfect, but I set a goal, and this is some of the tips. If you want to figure out how to really deal with that perfectionist nature, here's how you do it. I set a goal that I wanted to do a record. So I made a declaration about something that I wanted to do. I made a plan of action after setting a goal that I wanted to do a record. Here's how I'm going to do it. Here's how I'm going to get it done. I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. And then I took action. So I set a goal, I made a plan of action, and then I took that action, that plan. So all three steps. And when I took action, it's like most of the time you can have a plan. The plan is simply like a blueprint. The good thing about a plan versus an actual blueprint, if you mess up that blueprint, that building probably is going to fall apart. It's good problem. You have some of you carpenters and people who work in carpentry, you can get away with certain things. But if you deviate too far away from that blueprint, yeah, you're gonna have a mess on your hands. But when it comes to your plans just really outline the direction you should be going in. So if you deviate a little bit away from the plan, as long as you keep moving forward, you're gonna still be okay. You just don't want to deviate too far. It's a lot like a blueprint. You don't want to deviate too far away from the original plan. But the idea is to just have a plan to do something and don't stop with the plan. Take massive action in terms of getting that plan done. So if my guy that was talking about earlier, I think it was Lazarus, was saying about he was trying to compose his first song or trying to finish composing that song. What's your plan of action? Another thing that I found helpful dealing with that perfectionist nature is set a time limit. You can do all three steps. You're going to have a goal, set a plan, and take action. But the musicians normally do good with those three. Us creatives, we normally do good with those three. We have a goal. Most of us are pretty disciplined. We do all three steps. But the problem is we don't finish anything. So you might be doing all the stuff. Yeah, I got it going. I'm working. I got my plan working. I got all this. I'm working on this, working on that. Set a date. So you need to give yourself a time that this needs to be complete. And what that does, it causes you to stop. It makes you stop. Stop what? Stop criticizing. Stop being too meticulous about everything, because as much as you try, it's not going to be perfect. And even if some kind of way the heavens move around and you actually get something perfect, guess what's going to happen in about 2 to 3 years? Your ears are going to change. Your eyes is going to change. Your taste is going to change. Your perception is going to change. And so what you thought was perfect then might not be perfect later. So you have to come to this thought in your mind, or come to an agreement. This is the date I'm going to be finished with this thing. At least do that enough times till you get to the point where you know yourself. And it's like, So you don't have to set dates anymore. You just, okay, I start something, I'm gonna have it finished around this time. I know I need to get it out. Kind of like me for the book. I made an announcement. I put the pressure on myself concerning writing a book. I've never written a book before. And at the top of this year, I think it might have been before the pandemic or during the pandemic. I don't know. I wasn't thinking anything about that. But I posted something on Facebook. If you go back in my post, you'll probably see it. But that's a lot of searching if y'all go do that. But I posted something about I'm going to write a book. I'm working on a book or something like that. And what that did for me, I'm a man of my word. I like to keep my word. That put the pressure on for me. Look, you got to finish this. You didn't put it out here. I know this terrible English. You didn't put it out here that you're going to do something, and if you don't finish it, the people know not to trust your word. They know not to trust your word. They know not to trust what you say, because you're one of them, what I call convention talkers. You just say something in the moment just because it sounds good. And me personally, I never want to be that guy. I never want to be the guy that's just saying something simply because it sounds good. Saying something in the moment. I'm going to write a book. Oh, yeah, just so you can get people to pat you on your back. Yeah, man, that's good, man. Let me know when it comes out. Oh, because in your mind, that frees you up. They said, let me know when it comes out. So it can come out in 2 years. I'll let you know when it comes out. So I give myself some leeway. I don't have to answer you right away. I don't have to respond right away. I don't have to finish this right away, because I'll let you know when it comes out. No, you have to set a goal, set an end date, basically, it goes back to I think the Jim Rohn quote, and forgive me if I misquoted, but you'll never hit a target that you don't have. You will never hit a target that you don't have. So if you don't set a target date, chances are you're probably not going to finish that book in time. Chances are you're probably not going to finish that song, that album, that idea, whatever it is you're working on. If you don't set a target date for it, you're not going to get finished, because in your mind, you're going to always be in this relaxed state of thinking, oh, I don't have to hurry up and get finished. Oh, I'm going to be cool. I don't have to, there's no rush. It's cool, man. And like, even when I get people to track certain things for me, or when I track stuff for people, I ask for a target date. My biggest thing I want, if any of you guys have worked with me in the studio or you sent work to me to get done, one of the first questions I'm asking, when are you looking to have this finished? Because I know for me, that's going to determine where this goes on my list of priorities, because I have a lot of stuff to do. Don't get it twisted. I have a lot of stuff to do, but I need to know where this falls on my list of priorities. So as it relates to your idea, dealing with that perfectionist nature, you need to know where these things you're trying to do, where they fall on your list of priorities. And if they don't fall in a place or a high place on your list of priorities, chances are you are not going to get it done. All right, let's take a pause, read some of these comments real quick. All right, so Music for Jesus, all successful people have failures that they learn from to help them get to their success. Absolutely, I do agree. Do you ever put something out and listen to it and wish you would have went a different direction, or do you say it is what it is because that's what you were feeling at the time? So I'll stop and address that question. Vic, absolutely. Absolutely. I definitely have done that. But let me say something in regards to that question. I said that concerning my first album. Many of you guys don't know, I put out my first solo-based album in 2011. First single was in 2010. This whole artist journey started way back then. So my first single was in 2010. It's called Journey. You can find an actual video here on YouTube. I was playing a Warwick bass back then. Yeah, I was skinny and it's just funny. So yeah, the video is cool though. It's kind of neat. Got a lot of graphic stuff happening into it. But anyway, I put out that song and I put out a full album called The Journey Continues, based off of that song and based off of some of the ideas. For the longest, as I was growing as a musician, I had a hard time listening to that music and appreciating it, because I was always critiquing myself, saying, man, I should have done this better. I should have did this. I should have done that. But I recently got to this place because I took a break from it for a long time. And recently I listened to the record. I don't know what was going on, but I took a listen to the record maybe a few months ago. And for the first time, I was able to listen to it as a listener, not as a producer, not as a songwriter, not as all these titles that I wear, but simply as a listener. I was able to go back and listen to my own music as a listener and appreciate what I did. Almost 10 years later, listening to it, like being able to say to myself, man, you was doing some really nice stuff. I've never been able to do that like years prior, because being my own worst critic, I would always find the negative in what I do. Then one of my favorite verses in the Bible is, whatever things are true, whatever things are holy, whatever things are of good report. Basically, to sum it up, whatever things that you can find that are praiseworthy, whatever things are honest, whatever things are of good report, not things that are negative. Look for positive, I guess a better way of saying it. Whatever things that are positive that you can find about whatever it is you're doing, Vic. Like, find those things and highlight those things and think about those things and think about how you did those things well, and how can I do more of this? Instead of focusing on all of the problems. We don't always need to be reminded of the problem. If you go in the mirror and you're brushing your teeth and you happen to look up and you have, some toothpaste residue on the side of your mouth, you don't have to keep going back and looking in the mirror at that toothpaste residue over and over again. You don't have to do that. You know what to do. Once you see the problem, you automatically know what to do. I need to work on this. Some of the problems are easy fix, like toothpaste. That's an easy fix. I get me a little face towel, bam, it's done, over with. But some other things, if my teeth are crooked or something like that, that's going to take a little bit more time, a little bit more effort. If this is a problem that I want to actually fix, if I identify this as a problem, then I know it's going to be a process of time that it's going to take for me to fix this problem. I might have to get the what you call it, the little clear smile. I don't know what it's called. Or I might have to get bracelets. I might have to get something that's going to fix the problem. But while I'm going into this, I know that the time is going to take to fix this problem is going to be a little longer than it was for me to take the towel and wipe the toothpaste off of my mouth. I'm understanding going into this that this is going to take a little bit of time. So what I do is I don't keep beating myself up every time I look in the mirror. Now you have people on the flip side of that, when they look into the mirror and they see their teeth are crooked, they're like, I'm cool, I'm good, I like my smile. And it's not a problem for them. So it's all about your perception of how you see things. So that's why it tells you, if you can find something that's honest, something that's pure, something that's positive, something that's of good report, something that makes you feel good about yourself, not living in this blissful thing that you're out of touch with reality, but finding a balance between not focusing always on the negative. If I can find anything good about listening to my first album, let me look at that thing and let me see how can I duplicate that again, or how can I make something similar to keep growing higher and higher. Because if I sit and focus on my problem, what it does, it goes back to what we talked about earlier. It causes me to stall. It causes me to stall out, so I don't get anything done, because I'm always trying to fix a problem. Anybody who's trying to do something probably not going to get finished. Don't get offended. I'll explain. Anybody who is trying to do something, and I'm guilty of saying that term all the time. I'm trying. I'm trying. I'm trying. But anybody who's trying, you're probably not going to get it done. What's an old song that said, everybody knows almost doesn't count. Trying, you're almost there. I ain't say anything is wrong with trying or putting forth effort, but you're either doing it or you're not. Trying falls somewhere in between. Like I'm trying. No, you're either doing it or you're not doing it. It took me a minute to get that revelation. I'm gonna take y'all. I'm gonna let y'all. Exactly, Yoda. I'm gonna let y'all sit on that for a little while, because you'll get this when you get home and you get to eat your dinner tonight. But it's one of those things. It's like, man, that's true. You're not trying to do something. Either you're doing it. What's Nike's slogan? Just do it. You're not trying to do it. If I sit down and I say, man, I'm gonna try to play this song. No, it's either I'm learning the song and I'm learning how to play it, or I'm not learning the song. Trying is the thought of doing something, in my opinion. And we're not. This is not for a debate or anything like that over words. But my point of the matter is, you're either doing it or you're not doing it. All right. So let me go back up here, read a few of these comments. Like I said, I'm gonna have to jump off in a second, guys. Definitely have something else. Oh yeah, I gotta speak at a school this morning. That's what I'm doing. So just in case any of you guys out there are educators, you're in the educational field, I do speak to schools. Many of you guys don't know I'm a speaker as well. If you go to my website and go through it long enough, you'll find out a lot more stuff about me. But I do speak, and I do mentor, coach, and consult and all that kind of stuff. So I am speaking at a school this morning. If you're interested, please go to my website. There's a tab there, about me. You can kind of book me for speaking there, or you could send me a direct email, Jermaine@jermainemorgan.net, and I can get back to you. We can set something up. It's some other stuff that I can't remember all this stuff. I have to mention stuff while I'm thinking about it because my mind leaves, and it is what it is. And you know how y'all get, man, you should have told me you do this. Well, I'm telling you now. All right, so let's go through these comments really quick. All right, so hi Jermaine, lots of love from Zimbabwe. We still waiting for you at Tudor's ministry, Bishop Tudor's ministry. Man, you are. Thank you, man. I really, really appreciate that. I'd love to come down. I haven't talked to Bishop Tudor Bismarck. Man, it's been a few years since I spoke with him last. I think the last time I spoke with him was at Bishop Long's. No, he came since then. Nonetheless, it's been at least 3 years since I talked to Bishop Tudor Bismarck. But yeah, I would love to come to Zimbabwe. That would be cool. Uh, uh, so let's see here. And he has my albums, by the way. Hopefully, I didn't just knock me offline. Hopefully, I didn't. All right. Good morning from North Carolina. Where's that serene bass? I actually gave that back to the original owner of that bass. Got that bass back. So yeah, I don't have that serene anymore. Sorry, sorry to put a damper on things. It's in the basement. Somebody said it's in the basement. Do not try. All right. So Floppy says, so true. We too often look towards the negative and dwell on the problem rather than looking at the positive and the solution. Great stuff. Appreciate that, man. On point, brother. Log in onto the job, seize the day, brother. Absolutely, Charles, man. Thank you for hanging with me today. So again, y'all, I'm not going to be on here much longer. I just wanted to definitely come on live, talk to you guys, share some thoughts this morning. Got some Q&A time, just a few minutes for some questions, just a few minutes. I don't have a lot of time, but if you have a question, you have a thought, be sure to drop it in the comment really, really quick before I jump off. But yeah, just wanted to share that with you. Make a plan. Make a plan. Remember, you have the goal first. Set a plan. Take massive action. And for us perfectionists, set a date. Set a date to finish it. Set a target date so that you can actually finish what it is that you said you were going to do. When you made that declaration about what you said you were going to do, set an actual target date so that you can finish this thing, whatever it is. We are in the midst of quarantine. A lot of us are still in the midst of quarantine, but there's still ways to get things done. I'm speaking generally when I speak to schools. I would go out and talk. I'll be at the actual school and talking to students. I'll go to the college and actually talk to people. But we're finding other ways to get this done. I know it's something I still need to share with people. So how do I get this done? All right, we got Zoom. Let's do Zoom. Let's figure out a way. Let's make it happen. We can make it happen. It's just a matter of setting a goal, figuring it out, setting a date. This is when we're going to do it. All right, cool. We're going to do it in September. All right, cool. Here's the date. Let's do it. Let's get it done. And end of the story. We get it done. All right. I'm seeing your comments pop up. Keith says, I appreciate you, brother. Believe I'm one of the biggest procrastinators on planet Earth, and You've just helped me so much with a whole lot. Thank you so much. No problem, man. Thank you for the lesson and for the talk. Have a great day. You too, man. Um, what was your approach on playing difficult licks or riffs perfectly? Slow, then fast, or is there another way? Playing them perfectly? Uh that's relative. I'll say that. That's relative to the person. I would say, you know, take it slow, get it in your system, that kind of thing. But it doesn't work like that for everybody. I would hate to tell you something that works for me and it doesn't work for you. It could work in theory, but when you sit down with it, it might not work as well for you. Some people do well with trying to play it as fast as they heard it and just keep practicing it at that speed until they get it clean. And that works for them. They don't even slow it down. They just keep practicing at that speed. So me personally, I like to take it at different speeds, slow it down, speed it up, even take it faster than what I want to play it, just so I can get very, very clean at it. Now, perfect is relative because I can play it perfect today. Like there have been songs that I've learned and I played them perfect and got them, all under my hand and everything, and pick up my bass tomorrow. Literally the next day, garbage. Like, wait a minute, I just spent all day learning this. Where did it go? So I would say the biggest thing you want to be able to work on is muscle memory. Out of my best answer for your question is you really have to work on your muscle memory. The more you work on that muscle memory and being able to retain certain stuff under your hands, under that muscle memory, the better you're going to be able to execute whatever it is you're trying to do. There are certain go-to riffs that I do that I don't even have to think about because I've played them so many times that they're part of my muscle memory. So that riff is going to be clean no matter what. It's like very rare that I'm going to mess up on certain riffs because it's just part of my muscle memory. So if anything you want to really work, however you do that, work to develop your muscle memory. And so that's the biggest thing that I think will be helpful in that. Timely subject, Tiffany says, timely subject. Thank you for coming on live to share. No problem. Good morning, bro. Just logged in this conversation. Andre, you late, man. Good morning to you. I thought that only happened to me the other day and trash another. So repetition is most important. Absolutely. Repetition is definitely most important. Do you have any plucking and hand exercises to share? Um, Not really. Not anything beyond the stuff that I've already shared. I don't think so. Not not right at this moment anyway. I can't think of nothing at this particular moment. Great idea this morning. I go back to snippets of material in archives that I found awesome stuff and I forgot I did in the past. So I'm gonna go back and drag them out. Yep. That's Gerald. That's always good, man, to go back and listen because you'll find some gems every now and again. You'll find some really good stuff that you did, and it's like I think some of the best feelings to me is when like it's a record or something that I played on and I completely forgot about it, and maybe the producer or somebody let me hear the record, and or I hear it on the radio or something like that, and I'm like, man, that's killing. And it's like, well, you played that. Like, what? And so that I think that's a cool feeling for me when I forget that I played on something and I'm actually appreciating it just because it's killing, and then I come to find out later that it was me playing. That's a really really cool feeling. All right, so um, Raul says, "Good morning. What's the longest you can go without playing before you notice your chops leaving you?" I can say a day, man. I can notice my playing is different. And granted, I don't play every day, and it's again all of this stuff. I always say is relative because there's sometimes I can go a while and I haven't played, and I pick up the bass and I'm just in the zone. And then sometimes I've been practicing, 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 and then I pick up and it's trash, all of it. It's like, to me, I'll put it like that. To me, it's all trash. And it's like, dude, you would think I didn't put in like 6 hours doing this. But it varies for me. It varies from time to time. So I would say if we go on a vacation for like a week and I hadn't touched my instruments at all, I start, feeling that thing like, man, I haven't played. It's like you start getting that itch. You want to do something. I got to play something because, that you start feeling with me, I start feeling some type of withdrawal if I haven't played in a while. I don't think since I've been a professional that I went uh, more than a week. I'm gonna push and say 2 weeks, but I know that's a stretch. I don't think I went more than a week without playing since I've been a music professional. I don't think. I ain't talking about just practicing, just playing in general. I don't think I've went longer than a week. I could have, but to my knowledge, I don't think I went longer than a week. I'll never forget when my wife and I gotta get out. Y'all can keep me on here. I gotta get off. My wife and I went on vacation. I think this was our first time going to the Bahamas when we were married. And of course, it was a street band out there playing. And what did I do? I had been away from my bass for a few days. I sat in. I wanted to play. So I sat down to play this bass. So yeah, it's just one of those things. If I don't play for a while, if I don't play something, it don't always have to be bass for me because I play multiple instruments. But I gotta play something. It gotta be keys. It gotta be the drums, the guitar. I gotta play something, or I'll start feeling withdrawal after a while if I don't. All right. All right, I'm gonna read these few comments and I got to go. Homework: G minor, B flat major, 4/4 count with 6 count, 5 shapes, a pentatonic scale. Don't don't let the grace have nothing. He said, "Don't." Oh, I get you. You don't let the grave have nothing. Great session, man. You pretty much summed it all up. That's pretty much it, Roberto. Everybody take notes to what Roberto just said. That's the summarization of the whole lesson. Hi, sir. This times I feel bad on bass. Uh, when I take the bass, it's like my fingers are not working well. Just keep practicing, Jay Daniel. Just keep pushing through it. It's a natural feeling. Like I said earlier, it happens to all of us. You have some days where you feel it, some days you don't. The biggest thing I have, one of my lessons it was one of the lives that I did. I got on here one morning and I felt like I didn't have nothing. I don't know what the name of the live was, but it was one of those days or one of those weeks where I felt like trash in terms of I know I've been using trash a lot in this, but my playing to me was not on point. I felt like I was just dropping the ball over and over and over again. And so it's a natural thing that happens, but what you have to do, you have to work that muscle. You have to push through that continually. So when that feeling comes, you know how to deal with it. If you make a habit of pushing yourself through those times where you feel like that, those times will become less and less. And you'll stop focusing on that. Earlier I said in this, you have to find something pure. Have to find something of good report. I mean, you have to find something positive to think on, something positive about your playing that you like. Find a song that you like, one of your favorite songs to play. Play that song. And play that song until the feeling comes up that you are actually enjoying whatever it is you're doing. Sometimes it could be that you need to take a break and step away from it because you're worrying about too much of the mechanics of it. When you stop having fun on this instrument, that's when you start thinking negative. You start kind of getting into your own mind, getting into your own head with all these negative thoughts and all that kind of stuff. So you have to get out of your own way. You really, really have to get out of your own way. And the repetition of doing that will help you to overcome that thought and to overcome that feeling of, man, my playing is not enough. I suck, all this other stuff. You have to beware of your inner conversation. Beware of what you're saying to yourself so that you can do the things you're looking to do and you can become the player that you're looking to become. Listen, this is my time. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to everybody this morning and sharing. I hope and pray that you got something super helpful from this live. As usual, this is Grooves and Motivation. If you find something helpful, please share it with somebody. If you want to know more about my book, it is on Amazon. Jermaine Morgan, 10 Ways to Success, The Working Musician. You can look that up now on Amazon. I'll try to go back and link it in this video. I probably won't do it today, but I'll try to go back and link it in this video. If not, go to my website, go to my store. There's a link to it there in my store where you can purchase it there. I will be getting in some hard copies of the book, paperback rather, that I will sign. I have a few of those coming in that I will sign. If you want some of those, be sure to inbox me and let me know. And yeah, we can get those over to you. If you're not a member of the monthly membership, be sure to do that. Head over to JermaineMorgan.net right after this video and sign up for something. Go sign up for something. Go go do something. But anyway, I gotta jump, y'all. I gotta prepare my heart and my mind to speak and share with these students this morning. So y'all have a great day. I'm gonna have a great day. I'm out. Peace and blessings to you all. All right.